Welcome back to the quiet side of the mind. Tonight, we drift into one of the gentlest mysteries of human existence: intelligence, not as a race, not as a competition, but as a soft, flickering light that lives inside every brain. Intelligence isn't just logic or memory, it's the quiet ability to notice patterns, to dream in symbols, to feel emotions deeply, to imagine futures that have not yet taken shape. As your body settles into stillness, your mind opens like a calm night sky, and in that quiet space, the science of intelligence becomes something almost soothing, a soft rhythm of neural sparks, a dance of thoughts drifting like lanterns across the dark. So tonight, allow your mind to rest as we explore the most relaxing, dreamy, and quietly astonishing facts about what makes you, you. Fact 1: your intelligence is never fixed. In the stillness of tonight, while the world outside is sinking into a gentle darkness, there is a soft but miraculous truth about your mind that very few people truly feel. Intelligence is never fixed. Your intelligence is not a number, not a limit, and definitely not a sealed box. It is a current, smooth, quiet, constantly changing like a hidden river, patiently carving its way through rock and soil, silent yet persistent, night after night, day after day. Science calls this neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change itself, to adapt, to rewire. But in the quiet space of tonight, we won't treat neuroplasticity as a cold academic term. Instead, imagine it as tiny streams of light shimmering between the networks of your neurons, slowly weaving together like an invisible tapestry that expands with every experience you have. And the fascinating thing is, this process becomes most powerful while you sleep. As you lie still, your breathing steady, your mind at ease, your brain is quietly at work. It reviews the things you went through today, files your memories, and builds bridges between pieces of information that once seemed unrelated. The little things you learned in the daytime, a passing image, a brief thought, a vague feeling, all of them are carried into the warehouse of your mind, gently arranged like stardust settling into the night sky. And in that very process, your intelligence grows. No forcing, no straining, no proving anything to anyone. There is a very quiet beauty in the way the brain develops. It doesn't race. It doesn't compete. It doesn't rush. It grows the way trees grow in a forest. You don't hear them stretching. You can't see the movement with your eyes. But every day, every night, they are silently becoming stronger. Your mind is just like that. And this means you are smarter than you think, smarter than you've ever realized, smarter than that small voice in your head that has made you doubt yourself. You are not limited by your past. You are not trapped inside what others have said about you. You are not bound by the moments when you felt not good enough, because intelligence is something that never stops moving, like the moon changing shape in the sky, full, then fading, fading, then full again. No one looks up at a moonless night and says, "The moon has disappeared." It is simply in a different phase, a necessary quiet interval before it glows once more. The times when you feel you learn slowly, understand slowly, or don't seem to be improving, that is not a sign of low intelligence. It is simply a moonless night of the mind. The light is still there. You just can't see it yet. Neuroscientists say that every thought you create leaves a trace behind it. Every time you try something again, you reinforce a new pathway in your brain. Every time you are gently patient with yourself, You are planting a seed of intelligence, and every deep sleep is like a night rain, soaking those seeds and helping them quietly grow. There is no such thing as fixed intelligence. There is only intelligence that is still growing, softly, slowly, steadily, just like your own breathing right now. And as you listen to these words, something beautiful is happening inside your brain. Tiny new connections are forming. New pathways are lighting up. Silent understanding is putting down roots. You don't have to try to become smarter. You only need to keep living, keep feeling, and give yourself the gift of real, deep sleep. Your intelligence will take care of the rest for you. You are not fixed. You are unfolding. You are becoming. And that is such a gentle truth. Fact 2, you have at least 8 types of intelligence. In the soft darkness of tonight, now that everything around you has settled down, there is a tender truth about intelligence that many people have never really seen clearly. You do not have just one kind of intelligence. You carry within you at least 8 different forms of intelligence, like 8 slender beams of light, each one shimmering in its own way, each one illuminating a special corner of your soul and your awareness. We are often taught that intelligence is a single number, a test, a score, a standardized curve. But science, especially the work of Howard Gardner, gently whispers something completely different. Intelligence is a garden, and in that garden, each person has their own kinds of flowers, blooming to their own rhythm, in a way no one else can copy. You may have linguistic intelligence, quietly revealing itself every time you use words to warm someone's heart, write down a small feeling, or simply understand something that another person never says out loud. But that is only the first door. You also have logical intelligence, working like a steady stream of light behind your decisions. You don't have to be a mathematician or a programmer. Sometimes it's enough that you know how to analyze a small situation or notice the chain of events that led to something. Those moments, however ordinary they seem, are signs of a subtle, refined intelligence quietly working behind the scenes. Then there is spatial intelligence, silently appearing when you walk into a room and instinctively know where to place objects so everything feels balanced. Or when you can imagine a scene in your mind so clearly that it's almost as if you can see it. These abilities aren't loud or showy, but they're as beautiful as still water reflecting the late night moon. Another form of intelligence is softer, deeper, musical intelligence. You don't have to be able to play an instrument to possess it. If you can feel rhythm, if you sense something shift inside you when you hear a low note, or if a steady rain makes you relax and smile, that is music in your blood, in your nervous system, in memories you've never really named. And then there is bodily kinesthetic intelligence, intelligence expressed through each step you take, each movement, each steady breath. Someone with this kind of intelligence is not necessarily an athlete. They simply have a clear sense of their body, as clearly as they feel their heartbeat. It's a quiet kind of intelligence, born from a deep connection between mind and body. Another kind of intelligence extends outward, interpersonal intelligence. It shows up in those who easily sense other people's emotions through their eyes, their voice, the smallest shifts in their energy. This is the kind of intelligence that helps us mend relationships, listen deeply, and create a feeling of safety around others. People like this, in a certain sense, are healers in the dark because they carry the ability to connect hearts. Opposite yet parallel to this is intrapersonal intelligence, the ability to understand yourself. These are the people who know why they are sad, why they are afraid, why they want one thing and not another. They might not be great at arguing or debating, but they live honestly with their own emotions. That too is a rare and profound form of intelligence. Finally, there is a form of intelligence that Gardner calls naturalistic intelligence, the intelligence of nature. This is when you understand the rhythm of the earth and sky, when you feel peace just by touching a leaf, when you look at the sky and somehow know that this world is so much bigger than your worries. This is the oldest, most primal kind of intelligence, the kind our ancestors used to survive, to live in harmony, to find their way through deep forests. The wonderful thing is, you don't have to possess all 8 forms of intelligence. Just a few of them are already enough to make you an entire, unique world. Non-repeatable, irreplaceable, never less intelligent by any honest standard. And as you lie here, relaxed, breathing softly, becoming aware of the flows of intelligence within you, you might feel something very gentle. You have been intelligent for a very long time already, in your own way, at your own pace, with a quiet beauty you've never truly noticed. Fact 3: daydreaming boosts creativity. There are moments in the day when your eyes suddenly soften, staring off into some faraway point that isn't really anywhere at all. Your mind slips out of the present and drifts into a stream of thought as soft as mist, spreading out like tiny waves. People call that daydreaming, those light, hazy moments in the daytime that many mistake for distraction or uselessness. But in this quiet night, as you lie here listening to these slow words that match the rhythm of your own breath, let me whisper a sweet truth to you. Daydreaming is a sign of a creative, deep, and highly active brain, one that is working on a level higher than you think. When you daydream, your brain activates a system called the default mode network, a default network that is, in reality, the core of imagination, intuition, and new ideas. This is the region that writers, painters, musicians, and scientists all lean on, often without knowing it. It is like a hidden laboratory where your thoughts, freed from strict logic, can collide, combine, and transform into things that have never existed before. In a daydreaming state, you are no longer chained by rigid logic. There are no rules, no tests, no right or wrong, only gentle threads of thought curling into one another like wisps of smoke. And it is inside that soft freedom that creativity is born. Imagine there is a vast inner sky inside your head, a private space where old memories, long forgotten images, drift around like colored glass fragments. When you start to daydream, those glass pieces begin to fall, slowly turning, catching light, and bumping into one another in strange, beautiful ways. Science calls this association the linking of ideas, but to the human mind, it feels more like you are painting new streaks of light across the canvas of your awareness. Have you ever found yourself thinking about things that seem completely unrelated? Washing dishes and suddenly remembering a childhood moment, riding in a car and suddenly thinking of a perfect phrase, standing in the shower and unexpectedly finding the answer to a problem that had you stuck for days. That is not coincidence. That is your mind using its most creative state. Researchers say that when we daydream, the brain processes information more efficiently, as if it is cleaning out drawers on the inside. Important things get placed neatly where they belong. Old, heavy things get shaken off. New ideas spark quietly like tiny flames in the dark. The most interesting part is this: daydreaming is not an escape from life. It is your brain's way of preparing for life. When you drift off into thought, your brain is secretly rehearsing the future. It tests out different scenarios, imagines possibilities, and simulates moves you've never tried. This is a very quiet, very hidden, very delicate kind of intelligence, one that makes no noise but changes the way you see the world. And if you've ever felt that you daydream too much, struggle to focus, or that your mind wanders off too far, know this: that is not a weakness. It is a sign that your mind is deeper, wider, and more refined than many people realize. Some of the most creative minds in history, Einstein, Tesla, Beethoven, Leonardo, spent much of their lives in states of wandering thought. They didn't work only through logic, but through those drifting moments when the mind just floats into open space, where gentle ideas find them the way light finds the moon. Tonight, as you let yourself sink into this voice, soft as a breeze, let your mind dream a little. No direction, no goal, no control. Just let it go slowly and far in its own way. Because every time you daydream, you are awakening a very quiet, very deep, very beautiful kind of intelligence, the kind that only blooms when the soul is relaxed. And who knows, when you slip into sleep in just a little while, a new idea, a soft inspiration, or an answer you've been waiting for may come to you gently, like a falling leaf in the night. Fact 4. Emotional intelligence is more important than IQ. In the quiet of this night, as your breathing slows and your mind settles like a lake after a passing wind, there is a gentle truth about human beings that psychology has been exploring for decades. One of the most powerful forms of intelligence does not live in the head, but in the heart. People call it emotional intelligence. This is a kind of intelligence that cannot be measured by scores, tested in exams, or seen with the naked eye. Yet it quietly shapes how you love, how you communicate, how you stay calm in storms, and how you heal wounds you may not even know you carry. Tonight, we won't speak of emotional intelligence as an academic concept. Instead, imagine it as a warm current flowing through your soul, smoothing out the sharp corners, softening the things that once caused you pain. Emotional intelligence begins with the ability to listen to yourself. It's the moment you notice your heart beating a little faster than usual, the moment you realize a small sadness is creeping in, or sense that something doesn't feel right, even if you don't yet have words for it. The moment you know what you're feeling, even if it's just the faintest ripple, you have already activated this kind of intelligence. Many people are very sharp in logic yet exhausted by their own emotions, simply because they were never taught how to listen to the sighs inside themselves. But you are different. In the instant you acknowledge an emotion, you are already halfway to understanding it and healing it. The second part of emotional intelligence is calmness. Not a false calm, but a true one, where you allow yourself to feel without judging. A person with high EQ is not someone who never feels sad, never gets angry, never worries. They still feel all of those things deeply, fully, humanly. But they know how to let those feelings pass through them like clouds crossing the sky. No clinging, no running away, no letting themselves be swept away. Do you remember the feeling of watching water rise and fall with the wind? Emotions are just like that. They come and then they go. Emotional intelligence is the boat that keeps you steady, even when the waves are hitting the sides. And the third part, deeper and even more beautiful, the ability to understand others. A small look, a long silence, a tired smile, all of these are forms of language. People with high EQ don't just listen with their ears, They listen with their intuition. They can feel the hurt behind someone's strength, the loneliness behind someone's silence, and the pain behind the things that never quite make it into words. People like this are like small lanterns, illuminating the places where another heart has gone dim. They make others feel safe, seen, understood, and gently touched. The interesting thing is, EQ, unlike IQ, can grow throughout your entire life. Every conversation, every sadness, every stumble, every moment when you choose kindness instead of anger. All of these deepen your EQ, widening it, warming it, and science has shown people with higher EQ are often happier. Their relationships tend to be more lasting. They are more patient, and when life shakes them, they are the ones who stay standing, not because they are hard, but because they are soft. That softness is strength. Tonight, as you let your soul float along with this voice, let me say something gentle but important. You have more emotional intelligence than you think. Every time you choose to listen instead of argue, every time you stay quiet to protect a relationship, every time you put yourself in someone else's shoes, every time you realize you need rest, every time you forgive someone, even when it isn't easy, all of these are signs of a deep, kind, and very beautiful intelligence. You are not only intelligent in your mind, you are intelligent in your heart. And that is the softest, most human light there is. Fact 5, your brain learns even when you are not aware. There is something very gentle, yet deeply miraculous about your brain, something most of us never quite notice in the rush of daily life. It is this: you learn not only when you are trying to learn, but also when you have no idea that you are learning at all. In the world of neuroscience, this process is called implicit learning, unconscious learning. But in the quiet space of tonight, imagine it instead as tiny specks of light floating slowly through the air of your inner world, settling down little by little, forming a soft understanding that you don't even realize you possess until the moment you need it. There are moments in life when you feel as if you're doing something naturally, as though an invisible hand is guiding you. You dodge a falling object without thinking. You sense that a place is unsafe, even when there's no clear reason. You read the emotion in someone's eyes without knowing how you know. You hear someone's voice and instantly feel their mood shifting. None of this is magic. It is your unconscious intelligence trained by millions of small experiences you never consciously tried to remember. Your brain absorbs information the way soil absorbs moisture from the air, softly, slowly, effortlessly. No noise, no boasting. In this process, the brain creates patterns. It learns the rhythms of life, repeated sounds, shifting eyes, recurring situations, familiar outcomes, and like an artist painting in the dark, it uses these patterns to complete its inner picture of the world. You don't know you're learning, but you are, constantly, while awake, while dreaming, even in those moments when you think your mind is completely blank. Imagine your brain as a forest. By day, sunlight filters through the leaves, and you can see the main paths, the thoughts you are aware of. But beneath the canopy, where roots spread wide and tiny creatures move in the shadows, that is where hidden memories, subtle connections, and unconscious understanding are quietly growing. You cannot see the roots of the trees, but they nourish the entire forest. You cannot see your unconscious intelligence, but it nourishes your entire being. Scientists have also discovered that every skill you've ever learned, from tying your shoelaces to driving a car, to the way you respond to other people, is stored in a special system in the brain. They call it procedural memory. It's a kind of silent memory. It doesn't talk, it doesn't narrate, it doesn't announce itself, but it guides almost all of the familiar actions you carry out each day. That's why you can drive somewhere on empty mind and still get there. Why you can tie your shoes without thinking. Why you can play a melody again without remembering how you learned it. It's not that you're acting unconsciously. It's that you're acting through the most quietly intelligent part of you, the part of your mind that lives below words and deliberate thoughts. The most beautiful part is this: you don't have to be perfect to learn well. Even when you're tired, distracted, or low on energy, your brain is still quietly doing its work. It keeps what is useful, releases what is heavy, refines your skills, sharpens your intuition. Even while you sleep, the state you are slowly drifting into it continues learning, organizing memories, strengthening neural pathways, turning a long day into silent wisdom. And tonight, I want you to know this: you are intelligent even when you think you are doing nothing. The moments you think of as empty are often the times when your deepest intelligence is at work. You are growing in the silence. You are learning in the stillness. And your brain even now is becoming more refined with every breath. Let that thought gently carry you into sleep, with the softness of someone who knows they are changing, beautifully, naturally, and without any force at all. Fact 6: intelligence changes with the seasons of life. With the slow rhythm of your breathing tonight, wrapped in a softness that feels like a warm blanket around your body, there is a gentle truth about intelligence that we often forget. Intelligence does not stand still. It changes color, shape, and strength, just like the seasons of the year. No season is better than another. Each one simply carries a different kind of beauty. Your life is the same. When you are young, your intelligence has a sharpness that is entirely its own, quick, fresh, flexible, like young shoots stretching up to meet the sunlight. Children don't know many theories, but their brains absorb the world with a pure, unfiltered curiosity. Everything is new sounds, smells, colors, feelings, and this newness makes the brain grow wild and fast, like grass after rain. This is the spring of your intelligence. Soft, bursting with energy, eager to touch everything unknown. Then you grow older, moving into what people often call the adult years. Your brain is no longer wide-eyed and curious in the same way. It becomes more practical, more focused. You learn how to make decisions, how to organize your life, how to handle complex information. Scientists call this the peak of fluid intelligence, the ability to reason, solve problems, and connect data quickly, like water flowing. This is the summer of your intelligence. Bright, powerful, full of life and forward motion. But your intelligence doesn't only grow in that direction. It also reshapes itself around the experiences you carry in your heart. As you enter the more mature phases of life, maybe somewhere in your 30s, 40s, 50s, your intelligence transforms again. It may not be as fast, but it is deeper. Not as sharp, but more stable. It stands out less in speed and more in understanding what science calls crystallized intelligence. This is intelligence built from memories, from the stories you've lived, from what you've loved and lost, from the mistakes you've corrected, from the moments you stood back up when you thought you had no strength left. It is intelligence that cannot be measured by scores, only by the quiet choices you make every day. This is the autumn of your intelligence. Warm, golden, ripe, deep, like leaves turning color before they return to the earth. Many people fear the winter of aging, but winter does not mean the end. It is simply another form of intelligence, the most delicate form the human brain can achieve. As you grow older, your brain no longer races. It observes more. It may react more slowly, but more wisely. It knows how to tell what is worth keeping and what can be released. It is less distracted by small details and more able to see the whole picture, to know what truly matters. Like a winter lake, its surface still, but its depth unchanged, solid and undisturbed. Science calls this wisdom intelligence, the intelligence of experience, patience, and a heart that knows how to love without judging. This is the winter of your intelligence. Clear, quiet, but powerful in its own gentle way. And the most beautiful thing is this: every season has its reason to exist. Each stage of life offers a kind of intelligence that no other stage can replace. You do not become more intelligent or less intelligent. You simply change how you are intelligent. Youth is for exploration. Adulthood is for building. Maturity is for deep understanding. Later years are for clarity and peace. Across the long journey of your life, you do not lose intelligence. You only change seasons. And tonight, as you let yourself sink into the quiet that covers everything like a soft mist, know that your intelligence, wherever you are in life, is still blooming in its own way. Slowly, quietly, beautifully. Fact 7: your brain works better in nature. There is a very gentle reason why, whenever you walk into a forest, look up at the sky, or sit quietly beside a stream, you feel your mind soften, lighten, and suddenly become clearer. It is not an accident. It is science. And it is also a very beautiful truth about the human mind. Your brain works best when it is touched by nature. In the peaceful space of tonight, imagine yourself walking into a calm forest where moonlight spills over each leaf and the wind brushing through the branches sounds like the earth itself is breathing. In that place, your mind, even if tired, confused, or heavy, begins to slowly wash clean, as if someone were gently sweeping dust out of the deepest corners of your brain. Science calls this attention restoration theory. It says that our brains are overloaded by modern life, sudden noises, endless notifications, conversations that end before they're finished because something else demands our attention. All of these things stretch the brain like a string pulled too tight. But when you step into nature, all that pressure begins to dissolve. You no longer have to force your focus. Nature doesn't demand, doesn't push, doesn't hurry you. It simply exists quietly. And that quiet existence opens up a soft, empty space in your mind, a place where your intelligence can breathe, rearrange itself, and heal without you doing anything. Here's something interesting. When you look at a canopy of leaves, a flowing river, or a drifting cloud, your eyes are not just looking, they are resting. And when your eyes rest, your mind rests. Your heartbeat slows. Cortisol, the stress hormone, decreases. Neural connections frayed by pressure begin to repair, and your true, deep intelligence starts to return. Nature doesn't just soothe your emotions, it sharpens your mind. Many studies have found that just 20 minutes in a green space is enough to increase focus, boost creativity, improve memory, strengthen neural connections, and help the brain handle complex information more effectively. Researchers found that people who regularly walk in forests score notably higher on creativity than those who stay only in the city. Their brains seem to reset, like a door that's been closed for too long suddenly opened to let fresh air in. But the more magical part is this: nature doesn't have to be far away, doesn't have to be grand, doesn't have to be difficult to reach. You only need to look at a tree outside your window, or listen to the sound of water through a video, or feel a bit of soft sunlight on your skin, or simply take a long, slow breath and imagine yourself standing in a wide, open field. Your brain doesn't strictly distinguish between real and imagined nature. It just needs the faintest signal of nature to begin restoring itself, like a lullaby the earth sends to each of your neurons. And tonight, as you lie still in this quiet space, imagine a forest opening up inside your mind. Neural pathways like small paths carpeted with leaves, old memories resting in the undergrowth, new thoughts emerging like fresh shoots, and your intelligence like an ancient tree quietly growing from within. You don't have to try to be smarter. You just have to let nature, even if only in your imagination, touch you. Because every time nature touches you, your mind becomes clearer, your heart becomes calmer, and your whole being grows more harmonious. Now notice something very soft. Your mind is already becoming clearer right this moment. Not because you're thinking more, but because you are letting yourself move with the natural rhythm of life. Just as sleep is slowly coming closer, naturally, gently, and so very tenderly. Fact 8: quiet people think differently. In the hush of tonight, as every sound sinks lower and your breath moves steadily like a calm stream, there is a soft yet powerful truth about people that almost no one pays attention to. Quiet people think in a very different way. Not different in a strange way, not different in a superior way, but different in a deeper, wider, and softer way. Like a still lake, the surface is calm, but the depth cannot be measured with the naked eye. If you are someone introverted, quiet, often lost in thought, or even if there are just certain moments when you fold yourself into silence, then this fact is for you. Neuroscientists have discovered that quiet people's brains tend to use longer pathways to process information, not because they are slow, but because they travel further inward. When an extroverted person may respond immediately, a quiet person often lets their thoughts sink like a stone dropping into deep water. The thought does not stay on the surface. It sinks, then spreads, then glows from underneath. Like moonlight reflecting from the bottom of a lake, they tend to observe before they speak, feel before they decide, think before they react. That is not just a personality trait. It is a natural form of intelligence. Quiet people also have a very special ability. They don't just listen with their ears, they listen with their inner world. They can sense what others never say. A slight change in tone, a hint of sadness in the eyes, a small hesitation when someone talks about something important. They notice the invisible, those delicate, fragile signals that are usually lost in the noise of everyday life. And that ability creates a rare intelligence, the intelligence of deep perception. It doesn't show off. It doesn't demand attention, but it is as precise as a heartbeat. Interestingly, inside a quiet person's mind, thoughts don't run in straight lines. They weave into networks. If you sometimes stay silent for a long time before sharing your opinion, it's not because you don't know what to say. It's because, in your mind, dozens of threads are connecting at once. The past, the present, emotions, experience, intuition, imagination, fear, and hope. All of them blend together, slowly forming an answer that is rounded, warm, and deep. That is how your brain works, quietly, but full of intelligence. Quiet people also tend to have a rich inner world they rarely show. They carry untold stories, unspoken ideas, unshared emotions. Their inner life is like a spacious room with gentle light, a place where memories and thoughts are arranged carefully, where nothing is rushed, where it is just you with yourself. That is why they need quiet, not because they are weak, but because their intelligence grows in silence. Like plants growing at night, no one sees them, but by morning they are taller. Studies have shown that quiet people tend to be more creative, better observers, deeper in relationships, and highly attuned to other people's emotions, not because they are trying to be that way, but because silence is their natural environment, the place where their intelligence breathes. Tonight, as you listen to this voice, you might recognize something in yourself. Maybe you, too, are someone who often stays silent, who thinks too deeply, who analyzes everything, who sometimes feels different from others. If that is true, know that your silence does not make you weaker. It makes you deeper. It makes you more sensitive in a beautiful way. It makes you intelligent in your own style, a style the noisy world doesn't always understand. Quiet people are not people who think less. They are people who think differently. And sometimes, different is the most beautiful thing of all. Fact 9. Sleep automatically improves intelligence. When night falls and the world around you settles like a still lake in a gentle breeze, something miraculous is happening inside your body without you even knowing it. Sleep is quietly making you more intelligent. That might sound soft, slow, and it truly is. Intelligence doesn't grow only from studying or intense focus. It also blossoms in those moments when you sink into your pillow, let your mind become weightless, and allow your steady breathing to soften every tension of the day. Sleep is the place where intelligence is nourished, and tonight you'll feel that more clearly than ever. As you drift into sleep, your brain enters a state that science calls consolidation. It's like a librarian walking through the shelves at night, carefully sorting each memory, each piece of information, each emotion into its rightful place. The important things are kept. The unnecessary things are gently blurred. The scattered pieces are linked into systems. You are not aware of this, but your brain is reprogramming itself. It deletes files you don't need, compresses the memories that matter, expands the regions that will be useful tomorrow. Sleep turns chaos into order, fatigue into strength, and information into intelligence. During deep sleep, your neural connections, your synapses, are either pruned or strengthened depending on what you need. If you learned something new during the day, the synapses involved are reinforced, like a rope being twisted with extra strands. If you experienced something stressful, sleep calms those pathways, like a night rain gently washing the dust from leaves. Sleep doesn't just help you remember, it helps you understand, to connect, to see the bigger picture instead of drowning in details. That's why many people wake up with a new answer, a fresh solution, or a lightness they didn't have before closing their eyes. In the REM stage of sleep, where dreams begin, your brain becomes a creative workshop. Here, images, memories, emotions, and thoughts are mixed together, forming strange but meaningful dreams. This is when your brain practices creativity, like an artist experimenting with colors or a musician playing with melodies in the dark. Dreams are not chaos. They are the most delicate form of thinking the brain can do, thinking without limits, without pressure, without the scissors of logic. In dreams, you don't just remember, you imagine, you combine, you create. And that is also a kind of intelligence. Scientists have found that sleep increases your ability to solve problems, be creative, store long-term memories, process emotions, concentrate, and even strengthen intuition. All of this happens while you do nothing at all. You just breathe. You just lie there. You simply let yourself sink into the night, like a garden watered in the quiet hours when everything is still. Roots absorb nutrients, leaves rest, the soil breathes, and by morning, everything is just a bit greener. Your intelligence is the same. It grows while you sleep, without noise, without urgency, without asking anything from you. Tonight, as you slide deeper into this gentle drowsiness, know that every minute you give to sleep is a minute your intelligence is being reborn. You don't have to try to become smarter. You only have to sleep enough. Sleep deeply. Sleep the way the sun sets, quietly, but full of meaning. Sleep is a gift your brain gives to you, a soft whisper from your body. Let me handle the rest. And when you wake, you'll find yourself lighter, clearer, more at ease, as if your intelligence has spent the night being washed in moonlight. Fact 10: you are more intelligent than you think. In the quiet space of tonight, as your breathing settles into a rhythm like distant waves, there is a truth that is both very gentle and very important. One I want to softly whisper into your mind. You are far more intelligent than you have ever believed. Intelligence is not just the ability to answer questions quickly, not just the capacity to memorize facts, not just being good at math, logic, or vocabulary. Your intelligence is broader than those measures, deeper and far more colorful. True human intelligence isn't something that only appears in moments of effort. It reveals itself in very small, very ordinary, very quiet things. The things you yourself have never labeled as intelligent. You are intelligent when you know how to listen to someone who is hurting. You are intelligent when you sense that something is wrong before any evidence appears. You are intelligent when you understand someone's pain because you've walked through your own. You are intelligent when you know when to stop, even when everyone else is pushing you to keep going. That is the intelligence of empathy, the intelligence of intuition, the intelligence of experience, the intelligence of kindness. No exam can measure that. You are intelligent when you create, even if it only shows up in the way you arrange a room, choose a song, or come up with a small solution that makes life a little softer. You are intelligent when you imagine, when you look at the sky and write a story in your mind just for it. You are intelligent when you daydream, because the mind only dreams when it is deep enough to build a world of its own. You are intelligent when you survive the days you were sure you could not endure. No textbook ever calls that intelligence, but it is the most persistent, powerful, and admirable kind there is. You are intelligent when you rise after failure. You are intelligent when you know you need rest. You are intelligent when you can apologize, change, or let go. Only someone with real wisdom can do those things. Neuroscience even shows that your brain contains billions of neurons forming new connections every day, even in the moments when you feel like you've done nothing. Every thought, Every feeling, every experience leaves its mark, and your brain does not stop growing, learning, or expanding. You are more intelligent than you were yesterday, even if only by a tiny fraction, even if you don't notice it, even if no one else can see it. Like a flower blooming at night, without noise, without light, without anyone watching, yet still blooming. The most beautiful thing is this: intelligence is not something you must prove. It is something you are living, the way you love, the way you understand, the way you feel, the way you heal, the way you move from one day into the next. All of that is intelligence. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't need comparison. It doesn't need anyone's approval, because true intelligence does not live in other people's eyes. It lives inside you. And tonight, as your eyelids grow heavy and your mind sinks like a leaf floating down onto still water, I want you to keep just one soft truth. You have always been intelligent, in your own way, at your own rhythm, with a beauty that belongs only to you. Life may have made you doubt that. You may have heard words that hurt you. You may have thought you were slow, less, or not enough. But the truth is that in every cell, in every thought, in every breath you take, your intelligence is quietly shining. You are more intelligent than you think. You always have been. And tomorrow, when you wake up from a deep, healing sleep, perhaps you will feel that truth a little more clearly, soft as the first light of morning slipping through the curtains.